With more than 3 feet of snow across parts of KELOLAND this winter, the continued snowfall is wearing down even lifelong South Dakotans. And it's a harsh welcome, though, for many people who are new to the state. In tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, how Sioux Falls newcomers are handling this winter of heavy snow.
I don't know, is there a trick I'm missing out on?
This is Alabama native Riley Key's third winter in South Dakota.
At first it was really cool. I love the cold, the snow, just everything gets wet. It's really pretty though.
But now that it's his first winter as a homeowner,
Use the legs, use those glutes.
he looks at all of this snow a little differently.
Now I kind of want to cry. When you see it hit your driveway, it's like, okay, how much are we getting and how long do I need to stay up to get the driveway out of the way?
Shoveling is one of many new skills he's had to learn with his move north.
When I first moved up here, I had the opportunity to work at Great Life, and they just asked me to salt the sidewalks. And to be honest, I didn't even know what that meant. I was like, how do you do that? Do you just like go shake salt out everywhere? What kind of salt do you shake? Like, what does that look like?
But he says the biggest challenge was learning how to drive in the snow.
I had a friend compare driving to mudding. And I don't think it made any much more sense to an Alabama kid like me.
All right, got to turn into the skid, even out.
It's a skill Ian Consker, the new veterinarian at the Great Plains Zoo, has had to learn very quickly after moving to Sioux Falls just before Thanksgiving.
I came here living from Galveston, Texas, which is a small little island. It is pure beach the entire strip way down.
A huge contrast from his first experience with winter in South Dakota.
It was my second week here when we hit -50. I like the trial by fire. It's the only way to learn is a school of hard knocks, so it's definitely been a fun learning curve for sure.
My wife actually ordered a thermostat that day.
During that extreme cold snap, Riley and his wife got their own learning curve as homeowners while trying to install a new thermostat.
The furnace wound up going out. We sat quite some time before we found a 24-hour electrical service.
I have bought more clothes since moving here than I have like majority of my adult life.
Like Ian, Michelle Tetley also moved to Sioux Falls this year for a job at the Great Plains Zoo.
You go, good job, boys.
The job she loves.
This past week is probably the most snow I've seen in my entire life.
But the native Texan never imagined she'd have such a big obstacle to manage.
Good boy, Ricky.
While working with the animals.
I'm 5'2". There's some snowdrifts that I'm barely taller than. The Texan in me is kind of struggling a little.
There's also some animals at the zoo experiencing their first South Dakota winter. Yossi is a red wolf who just came here from Texas.
They're adjusting really well, I have to say, to it. Surprisingly well with all things considered with the weather. So they've done a great job of adapting to the weather.
But unlike the animals who have a natural coat to handle the cold and snow, these new South Dakotans are learning the human trick to surviving winter.
I have, I think, 4 or 5 layers on right now, so that's been my secret, has been layering up for sure.
Proper footwear has been the biggest thing because the rest of my body will be fine, but my feet, if they get wet, then it's kind of game over for me.
It's your first year in South Dakota winter. I would invest in the warm clothes immediately.
While they're all learning to make the most of their move to snowy South Dakota.
I did have the opportunity to go to Great Bear. I think I'll live on the Bunny Hill.
This harsh winter is making all of them feel a little homesick.
I love South Dakota dearly. I definitely would take the Alabama winters over it.
I love the snow, and so right now this is great, but that -50 in the winds.
Texas winters. I'll take South Dakota summers, but Texas winters.
Yeah, that's what we call snowbirds. That's why we have so many people who do just that. Now, while this winter there is more snow than what we've seen in a while, just know it can get worse, much worse in fact. At 36 inches of snowfall this year in Sioux Falls, we're not even halfway to the city record, which is nearly 95 inches of snow that fell in 1968. Now, here's hoping we do not come anywhere near that record anytime soon.